mean, I think my mindset, I think Islam can finish him on the ground for sure. And especially it's like we saw it with DDP. If you never felt one of those Dagestani style wrestlers, like you don't want it to be your first time in the cage feeling it.
Yeah.
And Islam and them, they have a different feel. They have a different type of grappling. So for JDM, even in our fight, he makes mistakes on the ground. He does a lot of stuff.
Do you believe he might be able to stop Islam going up to this weight class?
Stop him. Yeah, I mean, look, JDM's boxing and pressure that he can do, incredible. So I definitely can get a finish.
All right, favorite team?
Islam's great. Him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Jack Della is just the exponential growth that I've seen from this guy lately. That's a tough one for everybody. And he's big and he's dense and he's just that.
He's good, Kamaru. He's good, Kamaru. But explain to me why he's better or why he's going to give Islam a good fight. I just don't see it.
Why?
I want you to really elaborate on why JDM is going to give Islam Makhachev, because you say tough fight. So I'm gonna kind of push your buttons a little bit. How? Where is JDM? Where does he fit? Where does he give, or better yet, where does he give Islam a fit? Striking, grappling, submissions, takedown.
The fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena isn't just another matchup. It's a collision between two worlds of fighting styles, experience, and mentality. For months, MMA experts have been debating how this one might go, and the predictions are all over the place. On one side, you have Islam, the calm, composed champion with one of the most dominant wrestling arsenals in MMA history. On the other, there's Jack Della Maddalena, the rising Australian powerhouse whose sharp boxing and relentless pace have left even veterans stunned. This isn't just a fight for rankings, it's a battle of control versus chaos, structure versus creativity, and it's dividing analysts like never before. Bilal Muhammad, who's actually felt Islam's pressure firsthand, didn't hesitate when asked how he sees it going. He believes Islam can absolutely finish Jack once the fight hits the ground. According to Bilal, Dagestani-style wrestling isn't something you understand until you've been underneath it, and by then, it's too late. He mentioned how JDM still makes small but costly mistakes when things go to the mat. During their own fight, those moments showed up. Tiny lapses in position, a little too much pressure forward, small openings that a fighter like Islam would turn into complete control. Bilal said it best: if you've never felt that suffocating style before, you don't want your first time to be against Makhachev. But not everyone is counting Jack out. Former welterweight champ Kamaru Usman had some strong words about this matchup. He didn't just talk about skills, he focused on mentality. Kamaru's been watching Jack grow for years and said the guy's evolution is nothing short of insane. Power, patience, timing. Jack has been putting it all together in a way that even seasoned champions respect. Kamaru pointed out that Jack's spirit never breaks, no matter how deep the waters get, and in a fight with someone like Islam, that unbreakable will could be the real X factor. Usman wasn't predicting an upset outright, but he made it clear Islam won't have an easy night. Meanwhile, Ali Abdelaziz, Islam's own manager, admitted this might be Islam's toughest challenge yet. He called Jack young, dangerous, and far more complete than people realize. For Ali, this fight isn't about underestimating anyone. It's about proving that Islam can adapt to any situation, any opponent, any weight class.
I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer. And I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Islam's toughest fight today. You know, I'll be lying if I say it's not tough. I think he's very good. He's improved. He's hungry, he's young, you know, he brings a lot of very interesting, task for Islam to handle, you know. And Islam been working really hard with Javier Mendez, with Habib. I mean, I've been part of the camp for the last couple of weeks too. But he's closing all the T's, and he's ready, man. He's ready. But, you know, GDM, it's a really great fighter. And you can't take anything away from him. We fight him the best guy in the division right now. I believe he is the best guy in the division. And Islam have a big job on his hand, but I'm very confident November 15, Islam will win.
He talked about how Islam's been training with Javier Mendez and Khabib, tightening every little detail, making sure nothing slips through the cracks. To Ali, JDM's aggression and pace are exactly what Islam needs right now. A true test to remind everyone why he's at the top. He didn't sugarcoat it. This is a hard fight, maybe the hardest one yet, but Islam's ready to show once again why he's built differently. Jason Mayhem Miller brought an interesting perspective too. He's seen Jack up close, and he couldn't believe the size of the guy. To him, Jack doesn't even look like a welterweight. He looks like someone who could easily fit in a higher class. Miller joked that Jack looked like a battle toad, built thick, dense, and strong. On the other hand, he pointed out that Islam's body might finally be where it belongs. The Dagestani star has always had brutal weight cuts to make lightweight, and moving up could actually unleash his full potential. But Mayhem warned, size isn't everything. When skill enters the equation, wrestling often decides the story. He said the key will be conditioning and how well Jack can survive that relentless, grinding style that Islam's camp is known for. One thing's for sure, this fight won't be decided by size alone. It'll be decided by who breaks first when the grind begins. Then came Luke Rockhold's take, raw and straightforward. Having trained with Islam in the past, he's seen how much stronger and more filled out the Russian looks now. Luke admitted this matchup is tough to call. He praised JDM's explosive style and said he's one of the most exciting fighters to watch, but wrestling is a different beast. You can't just outstrike someone like Islam when he's timing his entries perfectly and chaining takedowns together like second nature. Still, Luke said the big question is how Islam carries that new weight in the cage. If his speed stays intact while his power increases, it could spell serious trouble for Jack. But if the adjustment slows him down even a little, JDM's striking could start dictating the pace early. Dan Hardy also leaned toward Islam, but with plenty of respect for Jack's evolution. Hardy's been high on JDM for years, calling his boxing some of the best in the sport. He said he's always been impressed by how sharp Jack's hands are, but timing is everything, and Islam picked the perfect time to move up. Hardy pointed out that many fighters stay in a division too long, and it limits their growth. For Islam, moving to welterweight might be the best decision of his career. He's no longer draining himself to make weight, and that could make him even more dangerous. Hardy compared it to fighters who move up and suddenly look unstoppable, like they've finally stepped into their natural form. That's how he sees Islam now, stronger, healthier, and more complete than ever. He even predicted a late submission, possibly in the championship rounds, after a back-and-forth striking exchange that slowly tips in Islam's favor once the wrestling takes over. But perhaps one of the most technical analyses came from Craig Jones, the grappling genius. He pointed out something few others mentioned, the unpredictability of Jack's movement. According to Craig, Islam's style is built around structure and rhythm. Everything he does follows a pattern. Precise and methodical. Jack, however, is chaos in motion. His off-balances, grip breaks, and scrambles throw that structure off. They make you hesitate for a fraction of a second, and that's where his strikes land. Craig also mentioned how people underestimate Jack's size and physicality. He said that after seeing Jack train with fighters like Volkanovski, he knows how tricky those grappling exchanges can be. He reminded fans that Islam struggled with Volk's size and scrambling, and Jack could bring even more of that. But Craig stayed realistic, saying the worst-case scenario is still very real. Islam could drag Jack down and control him from start to finish. Still, his tone made it clear he's confident in Jack's preparation and mindset for this challenge. When you put all these opinions together, the result is one of the most unpredictable fights in recent memory. It's rare to see experts so split, some seeing Islam's methodical dominance continuing seamlessly into welterweight, others believing Jack's youth, size, and striking creativity could finally crack the Dagestani code. And the truth is, both might be right in their own ways. Islam's wrestling, composure, and fight IQ have dismantled every opponent so far, but Jack brings something none of them did, pure unpredictability. He's not afraid to take risks, and in fights like this, that can be the difference between surviving and shocking the world. The closer we get to fight night, the louder the debates get. Fans are arguing over whether Islam's grappling can neutralize Jack's pace, or if Jack's boxing will land before the takedown comes. Every clip, every training update, Every quote from camp adds fuel to the fire. But no matter which side you're on, one thing's certain. This isn't just Islam's next fight, it's the test of his entire style. The moment where his dominance meets someone who won't back up, won't fold, and won't stop pressing forward. For Jack, it's the chance to shock the world. For Islam, it's another chance to prove that no matter how big, strong, or unpredictable the challenge, the Dagestani grind always finds a way to win. And that's what makes this fight so captivating. It's not about who talks louder, it's about who breaks first once the cage door closes. Islam's looking to make history in a new division. Jack's trying to destroy the myth of invincibility. Every expert, every fan, every fighter seems to have their own prediction. But when the lights go down at UFC 322, only one truth will remain. The one who adapts faster, who stays composed under fire, and who embraces the chaos will walk out as the man everyone's talking about. And right now, the world can't wait to see which one that'll be.